is going on, gents? It's R.P.M. here, coming at you with another episode of Hockey Mask Time. Now, before I get started, let us bow our heads and recite the HMT motto, shall we? A man will only take so much disrespect, and it's only a matter of time before he finally decides today's the day. Oh, gentlemen, ho, ho, ho! This one is going to be a barn burner from the title alone. Now, this article was published on the 10th of May. Man who offlined Detroit police sergeant girlfriend gets probation after self-defense claim. Oh, he shot the sheriff, but he did not shoot no deputy. Oh no. Gentlemen, this is going to be the first defensive HMT that I've done. Now, let me just go ahead and say this right here. Whoa! The man charged with offlining a Detroit police sergeant in a 2019 domestic incident inside their Garden City home will be getting probation. Gentlemen, one of the few cases in which justice was actually served, especially given the circumstances. Eddie Ray Jr. Johnson, just going to call him Mr. Johnson, or Eddie, was originally facing first-degree termination and felony firearms charges for the deletion of Detroit Police Sergeant Elaine Williams in June of 2019. He was offered a plea reduction Friday with a sentence agreement of 3 years probation after he entered a plea of no contest to manslaughter. If Johnson violates probation, he'll receive a sentence of 57 months minimum to 95 months maximum to 15 years in prison. With the court deal, the felony firearm charge was dismissed. Johnson's legal argument was that the shooting was in self-defense. When police arrived to their home in the 200 block of Belton, they found Johnson suffering a gunshot wound to the abdomen. Very, very important detail. Once inside the home, the officers discovered the lifeless carcass of Elaine Williams. She was shot multiple times. Medics arrived at the location and pronounced Sergeant Williams deleted. Yes, gentlemen, this was a strag in uniform. Quote unquote, I take all domestic violation cases very seriously, said Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy in a statement. Quote unquote, I also take my role as prosecutor very seriously. In this case, both parties were shot with the same gun. The order of events is open to multiple interpretations. Whoa! Now that right there, gentlemen, is a heavy piece of information. The two were domestic partners who lived together at the time of her deletion. Williams, a 14-year veteran of DPD, at the time of her offlining leaves behind 2 children, a 4-year-old and a 12-year-old. Oh, so we have a guy that was playing stepdaddy, or should I say simp daddy or step dummy. Quote unquote, considering our burden of proof, we believe this is an appropriate resolution. The decision to offer this plea to this defendant was not what we wanted to do, but it was the just thing that they had to do. Very, very interesting. According to investigators, earlier in the evening of June 2nd, the couple went out with their neighbors on Belton Street to a local bar. After returning to their home, the neighbors heard the couple arguing. One neighbor heard multiple gunshots coming from the house and then saw Johnson leaving the front of the house suffering from a gunshot wound. Post-mortem toxicology reports show that Sergeant Williams' blood alcohol concentration was at 0.240 grams per 100 milliliters of blood at the time of her deletion. Medical records for Johnson show that his BAC was 0.189 grams per 100 milliliters of blood after admission to the hospital. So it would appear she was way more drunk. So therefore, of course, they were going to be belligerent. 8 .40 caliber shell casings were located inside the residence near Sergeant Williams' carcass. All 8 shell casings were examined by Michigan State Police Forensics Lab. All 8 shell casings were identified as being fired from a .40 caliber Smith & Wesson pistol. This pistol was issued to Elaine Williams in the course of her employment as a sergeant with the DPD. So, she actually shot him with her service weapon. Oh, gentlemen. Oh. Johnson was interviewed by Garden City police officers in his recovery bed after his surgery at Oakwood Hospital. During 2 interviews, the defendant stated that he shot Elaine Williams during a struggle after she shot him 1 time. Johnson will be sentenced on Friday, June 14th at 8:45 a.m. Detroit Police Chief James White released the following statement. The heart of Detroit Police Department still breaks at the tragic demise of Sergeant Elaine Williams. This plea deal is not the outcome that DPD wanted for Sergeant Williams' loved ones. Who gives a fuck? She was a strag in uniform who had a gun, and once she got a little bit belligerent with her man, she decided she was going to impose her will on him by shooting him. But we understand the unique circumstances of this case and therefore accept the prosecutor's decision. We remain focused on preventing domestic violation and helping victims, as domestic violation affects all people regardless of their career, relationships, or background. Well. First and foremost, I just have to go, bravo. Why? Because they did what needed to be done instead of letting their emotions cloud their judgment. Oh yeah. So, like I said, I find this extremely interesting because it was a defensive offlining. But hey, what more can be said, gentlemen? Anyway, let's get to that scorecard, shall we? For location, went down in their home. Gonna give this a 10. Method of execution. The problem-solving pistol. Normally, I would give this a 5. However, I'm going to up this to a 10 because it was a police-issued pistol that he used to solve his strag problem with. Psychological impact. The fact that she was a gynocratic goon, I'm going to up this to 100. And for the brutality factor, he popped her multiple times. I'm going to give that a 20. So Eddie, Endgame Johnson, gets a score of 140. Gentlemen. I look at this article and I say, yeah, this man proved that even an unarmed man can present a serious danger if pushed into a corner. Oh yeah. Like I said, she was a strag in uniform. She figured, okay, I can use my position to more than likely impose my will onto you. Guess what? Things didn't turn out all that well. Yeah. And guess what? Oh, fucking well. Yeah. There are numerous cases of women in uniform who decide, you know what? I can impose my will on the man in my life. Why? Because I have the backing of the gynocratic goons. Now, let's just go ahead and actually reverse this. Let's say, unfortunately, he was deleted and she was alive to say her story. You all know good and damn well they would have made a huge stink about it. Oh, she was a victim. Oh, he was such a bad man. This, that, and the other. However, when the man is the victim, like they said, they didn't really want this to be the outcome. Essentially, he's getting away. But he's getting away for deletion or defense. One more can be said, gentlemen. This man defended himself by taking her own police-issued pistol and doing what needed to be done. Yeah. So guess what? In my humble opinion, all charges should have been dropped right there. No probation, no nothing. But hey, he accepted the plea deal, so that's on him. Yeah, gentlemen, understand, a strag in a position of power will definitely abuse her authority. We've seen this countless times. Now, this goes back to something that women and feminists love to say. Well, if women ruled the world, then we'd have a world of peace. That is actually not a true statement. No. If you look in history, gentlemen, places that had female rulers were often going to war a whole lot more. You can find it. You can look it up. But yeah, if women ruled the world, I think we'd be in a worse situation. There'd be wars going on everywhere. Why? Because those women would not have to actually go out and fight in said war. Yeah, they'd send the disposable men out to do their bidding. Kind of ironic. Just like women of today and white knights and simps. But that's another conversation for another time. Well, I've rambled on long enough. Read the article. Let me know what you guys think. And for you women out there who occupy positions of power, i.e. judge, in this case, a cop, anything like that, and you honestly believe that your position is going to let you think that you can impose your will on a man in your relationship, better understand this, ladies. Understand it quickly. The power you think that your position gives you will go out. Feminism and the idea that your position is going to protect you from a man that decides enough is enough, that's going to go out right along with it. Because more and more men, believe you me, behind closed doors in their relationships are experiencing domestic violation. But all it's going to take is that one final push, and that man's going to end up putting on that mask. It is what it is. That's all I got to say for this one. R.P.M. I am out.
Woke up, murder on my mind, yeah. Losing all my hope, yeah. I'ma do the crime, yeah. Fuck the red or blue, I'ma take the black pill, yeah. Fuck the red or blue, I'ma take the black pill.